Hi, I'm Virginie, and this is Better Minds. This podcast is a gentle space for honest conversations about mental health, creativity, and the music that shapes us. Whether you're healing, learning, or simply looking for comfort, I am so grateful you're here. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is a really special one for me as I am joined by artist Shelby Scott. If you're discovering her for the first time, Shelby is an R&B artist whose music blends emotion, honesty, and a real sense of identity. But beyond the music, she's also someone who truly inspires me. Her work ethic, her consistency, and the way she keeps showing up and growing as an artist. In this conversation, we talk about her journey, taking a step back from releasing music and what that time taught her, her evolution as an artist, and the story behind her latest single, Emotional. We also dive into her love for R&B, the challenges she's faced along the way, and what keeps her driven no matter what. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did, and let's get into it.
How are you?
I am good. It's so good to see you.
I know you too. It's been a minute.
It's been 5 years. No,
No, I mean, basically,
4 years.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
How are you? How is everything going?
Well, it's going good. I am turning 39 tomorrow,
No way.
so I'm preparing myself mentally.
But I'm glad to hear everything's going well and you're celebrating another year of life. That's like such an accomplishment.
It is. It is. That's true. So how are you? What have you been up to?
I'm good. Been busy just trying to do a lot of different things, but all good things I'm really excited about. My own music, working on music for some other people, contributing to other projects. And yeah, just building out some things here in LA with different songwriting camps, different music events, events for music creators and things like that. So it's been a balancing act, but it's been really, really fun. And I'm excited about where things are going for sure.
I love that. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
Remember the time we met many years
Of
ago?
course. I know. On that hot summer day.
In Beverly Hills,
That's right. I know.
eating
Good
tacos.
Yes, I know that place is gone. It's not there anymore.
Oh, really?
Such a bummer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I mean it's turned into something else now. It's still there, I think, but it's just not the same that it once was.
That is sad.
I know. That's LA though. Things kind of
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how's LA now? Things have
it's good.
changed.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty warm right now. Overall, I think yeah, it's good. I love it. It's in my opinion, it's the best city in the world. I love it. It's great. Um yeah, things have there's a lot going on here all the time, which is good, but can sometimes be a little wild, but yeah, everything's good.
I miss it.
Yes.
Do you
You need to
still
come
live?
back.
Do you still live at the same place?
Yes. Yeah, still in the same spot. I love it. It's very central, so able to get everywhere I need to go, and I have a studio now that's close by. So now that I feel like I'm set up, I don't want to leave my little spot.
Amazing. I love it.
Yes. Yes.
I have questions for you.
Ooh, let's get it.
All right. For people who may just be discovering you, how would you introduce yourself and your music today?
Great question. The age old tell me about yourself. Well, for those of you who don't know, my name is Shelby Scott. I am an R&B singer, songwriter, producer, engineer based in Los Angeles. I'm originally from the East Coast of the United States, and I feel like that informs a lot of who I am as a person, but also the music that I make. I am an R&B head through and through. I believe in R&B supremacy. I think it is the most incredible genre. I'm a big music fan in general, pull a lot of influences from many different genres. I grew up, listening to country music, listening to rap, listening to classic rock, classic R&B. So I feel like I have a lot of influences. I've had a lot of influences from an early age, and that has very much impacted the kind of music that I make today. But ultimately, who I am is a creative. I just love music. I'm such a fan of music, and there's nothing in the world I love more than creating it and being around it and performing it and watching it. It's a really beautiful gift, and I'm so grateful to be able to spend my life doing that.
Wow, what a great intro.
Starting off strong, I guess.
Yeah, damn.
Mic drop.
So you took a bit of a break from releasing music. Was that something you needed creatively or personally?
Good question. I think, it was such a transitional time. Around that was like, I originally started releasing music on the end of COVID. So being home and like in my studio, um, in my home studio, and having time to do all that, and really figure out what my sound was. I feel like I spent most of the lockdown kind of doing that. And then I moved from Nashville to LA. And I feel like that is what the transition really was, both in my personal life, but also musically. I'm just trying to redefine the creative partners and what the sound was at the time. And when I first came to LA, I really just kind of fell into a songwriter crowd, which obviously living in Nashville for 6 years, I was very well versed in the songwriting game and what it looks like there. But when I came to LA, I had never really just been a songwriter. I had always written for myself. Of course, or been in other sessions working with artists directly that were like my friends, but I had never been just a writer. And that was kind of the opportunities that were presented to me in my early time here. And I was just like, let's just go where the music is, right? Like if these are the opportunities that we're getting. And so I just kind of learned really for the first time the true art and grind of the life of a songwriter, just like doing sessions every day, you know, 3 songs a session. I wrote 150 songs in that year. Some, with different artists in the room, some for myself, a lot just for different projects and things like that. And it really just, it's like a skill, I learned, how to do that effectively and how to balance things that sound good and feel good, but also mean something. And so a lot of that break really was just writing and just trying to capture another opportunity at the time. But once I got to the end of 150 songs, I was like, wait a second. The whole reason I came here to do any of this is because I am the artist. Like I feel like I was born to do this. And while this was like a really great crash course in a key element of being an artist, I was getting distracted in that, and trying to make other people's careers and dreams come true. That I created a new dream for myself, but I all kind of strayed from the center of it. And so at the end of that year, I was like, yeah, we're getting back to, the why, right? Why we're doing all these things. And then just trying to figure out of the songs that we had written, what really felt like me. I think that's a challenge as a songwriter, as we wear so many hats and we do so many things to try to create a sound or create what someone else is trying to say. And of course, it's my voice on the demo, it's my melodies, it's the words that I came up with, and trying to decenter that from myself as an artist or who I am as a person. So just kind of went back through the records and figured out what really felt like a Shelby Scott record versus, something for someone else. And just got back into that. So it's been a good journey. I'm fine. I think like a through line for me is like I'm fine taking the long way around. And I've noticed that how I approach my own music now, even in sessions for myself, with other writers, I have a completely different perspective than I did, when I was writing my own music 4 years ago. And so I think, yeah, I'm fine to be a student of life in different areas, but that wasn't a break of away from music or away from the grind by any means. It was just kind of a little bit of a different path, but that ultimately brought me back to myself and the music that I'm making now.
Mm. I am so happy you're releasing music again. It's so
Thank
good.
you. I appreciate it. You've always been such a supporter of me, and it's so funny too to talk about, like, to be here with you and just as we move along. It's like we connected so early in my career, my artist career,
Mm.
in terms of when I was releasing music. I think we met in my first release, so it's like honestly incredible to see. Like, I don't know, I feel like our friendship and doing this is a real milestone of like how far that I've come as an artist, and really just thinking about how you've been there every step of the way and always supporting and just being a resource and asset to me, and as well as a friend for sure. So um, thank you for your support from the very beginning. And it's not something that I take lightly, and I'm proud to be a part of this, and happy and proud of you for everything that you've built on this platform, because it's definitely transformed a lot of things.
Thank you. You're gonna make me cry now.
No, 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 none of that.
But yeah, I've been
None.
thinking about you a lot
Mm.
since your release in 2021.
Yeah.
And we kept in touch.
Yes.
Yeah. And you kept checking in, and I love that about you. You are so kind, and
Mhm.
it is very rare in this
Mm.
music industry.
I could say the exact same thing about you. Like you meet people that you work with, in any capacity, and sometimes it's just a blip. You work with them on a project and then you go on to the next thing. But then there really are people that it's more holistic. It wasn't ever just about the one song,
Mm.
or the write up or the playlist, or, just the connection that we made over one song. It was bigger than that. And I think that's a testament to who you are as well.
I try my best,
Yeah,
but
that's all you can do.
I truly believe in you and your
Appreciate that.
new single, Emotional.
Yes.
It's so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what's the story behind that song?
Yeah, it's it was a really easy one to write. I was in a session with that same songwriter crew that I had worked very closely with for a long time. Um and yeah, I just came in the studio that day, and I hate this narrative. There's like this idea that like women talk more than men, right? But really, when the science, like, you look back at it, it's actually studies that says like on average men actually say more words than women. And there's also these things about women being more emotional than men, but really sometimes that's not always, of course it's not always the case. And so it was funny. It wasn't necessarily a someone telling me that I was too emotional, but it was kind of like that sentiment, more so leaning that, like, because I'm a woman, I'm emotional, right?
Mm.
Even though I was just passionate and moving toward things. And so I decided to flip that on its head, to be like, no, you're so emotional. Like, before you can say it, like, I'm emotional. No, that's you. You're emotional. So I think this song was just kind of built out of, I like to have conversations, everything I put out, it has to mean something. It has to come from somewhere. And this one in particular was just literally a conversation. Partially it was the whole first verse is really just about taking in, like, leaving. I left a conversation and I was just thinking about it on the way back as I was driving. Like, this is hitting different. This isn't how I pictured, things going. Um, and that was more of an internal monologue. And then it switches to, talking to this person. I think a lot of it was just trying to go tit for tat, like, if you're going to do this and call me this, and I'm going to call you that. Maybe there are other words we could have used, or other, it could have gone a different way. But I think in the space that I was when I wrote this track, it just felt very much Um, yeah, it felt playful, but I definitely felt like I had something to say of like, if you're supposed to treat people how you want to be treated, sometimes it's like you got to treat people how they treat you, you
Yeah.
know? Which, it is what it is. But this one in particular was just a fun record. And while I was writing it, it was more like I was in the moment, of like really feeling this. But I think it can still be fun and playful. And, I love the men in my life, but sometimes you gotta bash them. You gotta let them know that that it ain't
Exactly.
it. So yeah, this one was really, it was fun to create, and from start to finish, it really was just a seamless process, which hasn't been the same for some of my other records. Each record teaches us something. I definitely learned things through this record, but the way that it seamlessly came together from every stage just was a nice check-in that this is right and this is what needs to be said. And yeah, as I'm kind of redefining this new wave of my artistry, this coming back from the break, yeah, I just felt like it was something I wanted to say and how to define my sound as it is right now.
So, how is your sound today? How would you describe it? Since 2021, you changed a lot.
Mm, yeah, I think getting out of Nashville really changed my sound. And that's not, bad or a good thing. I love Nashville, but I think being able to be in the rooms with with just different people and people who really are creating sounds. I felt like a lot of what I found in Nashville was a lot of imitation. The people that I was working with, it was imitating certain sounds or trying to sound like things that were on the radio or trying to sound like certain artists. And mind you, we're all, nothing's original, right? Like we all have influences.
Mm.
We all take from those influences. But yeah, I just felt like the style of writing in LA is completely different. How sessions are run from between the two cities are completely different. And so, yeah, I feel like I just had a lot more at my fingertips. I mean, of course, LA is a much more diverse town and diverse in the broad sense, especially in genre. And so I feel like I was finally working with people who really specialized in the kind of music that I loved. And I think too, writing for other artists, it it removes the filter. Like I would write raps sometime and it's like I don't even rap, but if that's the assignment, then let's do it. Or if we're writing like girly pop bubblegum pop records, or then we'd be writing like a hip hop, like a dark hip hop alt track with like a male artist in the room or like whatever, you just kind of have to wear those hats. And so I think for me, I was exposed to a lot of different things and I was actually like creating a lot of different things that now it's more of like a microcosm of genre and experience really. But yeah, I think I just have the influences have marinated and I've been able to really find people that I love working with, that I admire, the sounds, and I'm inspired by what they're creating. And I think I'm just open to do whatever sounds good, you know?
Mm. You found the right people.
I think so. Yeah. And that changes, every season, is different, but I really love, yeah, the people that I'm working with now and the community that I've created and built. Um, I'm working with like people who have worked on some of my favorite projects and favorite musics, that's come out from my favorite artists. So it's amazing to be in the room with those people and learn from their experience and have them contribute and lend their gifts to me and what I'm doing. It's a real blessing, gift for sure.
Damn. You worked so hard and you're still working so hard. And I love that about you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's that East Coast grind. That's why I say like it informs so much of who I am and how I operate. It's just also I know what I was put on earth to do and I have to do that, you know? And so any time I spent not doing that, it's disappointing. It's a waste to me. I have to be doing it. And I think that that's another conversation too, of like trying to balance rest and trying to balance breaks, like true breaks, you know? But for me in the era that I'm in, it's 24/7 and I love it. There's nothing else I would rather be doing, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard work, but it's good work too.
Yep, it is. Proud of you.
Yeah, same to you. I mean, being an entrepreneur, you know, it's the same thing. It's 24/7 for you as well.
True.
So.
I never go on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's real.
I don't know what it is. Sometimes people ask me, "Are you going on vacation soon?" I'm like, "No,
What's vacation?
I just go to Paris."
I go on trips. Yeah,
Yeah,
I go on
short trips.
That's
it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think for me the vacation part is really important because I care about longevity in my career. I think a lot of artists these days are just chasing a moment. They're just chasing virality. They're chasing a spot on the charts or attention, right? They're 15 minutes. But for me, like I said, I'm fine to take the long route. I just care about longevity. I think it's a gift how long people get to do this, you know? And so I care more about that than having it right now. And so for me, I don't want to burn out. I don't want to be so exhausted. And also, like, as a creative, you have to live life to have things to write about, you know? And I go from studio session to studio session back to back, you know, for weeks on end. All I've seen is my bed and the inside of a studio. It's not inspiring to me, you know?
Yeah.
So we have to live. I feel like that's kind of what I'm realizing is I can have seasons of really grinding it out and doing sessions all the time, working on music and having my job and, you know, building all the things that I'm building, and then be able to go away and enjoy the downtime and just experience life and be inspired by being in a different place and the sounds of that place and the people that you meet and the conversations that you have, and then taking all that back. You know, it's all a part of the process.
Did you go to the UK recently? Was it last year?
Yes. So I actually just planned my trip yesterday for this year.
Oh, you're going again?
Damn. Yes. I just love London. I always have. Ever since I went in like 2018, I just am obsessed with it. I think I said LA is the best city in the world, but I think London is like up there too. I think, yeah, I just love it there. And I've met so many creatives there. I love the music scene. I'm so glad that it's getting so much recognition right now, like commercially. Olivia Dean. Last night I was at the Lola Young show. She's incredible. Even in the R&B scene with like K1, Sasha Keeble, you know, that whole crew. Mahalia is an artist that I've loved for over 10 years, that I've listened to for a long time. And, you know, it's like that UK R&B has always been a part of my sound and my sound discovery, the music that I listen to and the music that informs. And the fact that it's having such commercial success is cool. But I've been on that train, you know? And so same thing, like I would rather just go to the source. Why be in LA or Nashville or New York and have people try to imitate that sound? Why not just go to the place and work with the people who are creating it, you know? And same thing, I've been very lucky to meet people and work with people who have worked on some of those projects that have shaped my sound, and to be in the room with them as they're shaping literally my sound in real time. You know, there's nothing like it. So sure, what's a plane ticket over there? I love it. And I love Europe in general. Just again, getting away and getting around a different environment to be inspired by, for sure. So yep, I'll be back.
When?
This time I'm going late May. I usually go around like April. Last year it was so hot. The year before that it was so cold that I'm like, well, let's see what we're gonna get this time.
Oh yeah, it should be fine.
Have my people that I like to work with there, and some more people that I've met that have come, you know, to LA, or just that I've connected with, that I'm excited to go and meet with, and just be in a different space and keep creating.
Man,
even on vacation.
I want to try to come.
Yes. Yeah, I'll send you the dates. I'm not sure how long I'll actually be in the city, but I will send you those. Yeah, you should come say what's up.
I can try for a day or two
Yes,
at
totally.
least.
Yeah,
Or you can
for
come
sure.
too. But
Yes,
you're
I
not gonna come.
know.
You hate Paris. I know.
Oh, whatever. Hey, don't call me out. Listen, I'm actually willing. I'm willing to give it another try. One of my friends, we were talking about it. She was like, "I feel like you should give it another try." For those of you who don't know, I was like in a touring group when I was in high school, and we did a tour in France, and I just didn't have the best experience in Paris, so I wrote it off for 10 years. But yeah, we've reached around the 10-year point, a little bit less than the 10-year point, so I'll give it another chance. If you're there, I'll come. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be fine
We
with
can
me.
redefine Paris with thee.
Yes, we would do that. It's always fun with
Yes.
me.
I'm sure it is.
But yeah, let me know and I will try to make it. I would
Yeah, I
love
would
to
love to
go
see you, of
back. It's been
course.
a while.
Yes.
So, are there things you do differently now when it comes to writing or recording music?
Um, totally. Totally. I think trying again, everything's been said and done, right? So I'm always trying to find a different way to say something or do something because if you're chasing what's on the radio today, you're 2 years behind. If I hear something, a song for the first time, and I'm going into a session and I want to create something like that, I'm behind. You know,
Mm.
I don't want to chase. I am influenced. I have so much inspiration from other artists because I just love music. I'm just a fan of music. But I try not to chase the exact sound because it's already been done, right? You have to do something unique. And so I think in early on in my career, I was just trying to make good music that it wasn't so much coming from within. It was so influenced by the other writers I was with or the producers that I was with or what I was listening to at the time and trying to create something like that. And while again, I still gather a lot of inspiration, I feel like we're in a great age of music right now. I'm like, as a music fan, it's such an amazing time to like be here. There's so much access to the artist, so much, content and music coming out. It's amazing. But um yeah, I feel like I trust my gut a lot more now. I trust my intuition. And I think that's just the hours that I've put in, to being a writer. Um, I trust what comes out of my mouth. I trust what feels good. Sometimes, it's like a painter or a sculptor or anything. You have to kind of see the diamond in the rough. You have to know that even if it doesn't sound right in the first day of writing it, or if it doesn't sound how you want it to, if you're just writing it on guitar, there's a feeling that you have that says this is special. I should keep going with this. And keep chipping away at it, just like, any other art form. And so I think that for me, um, has been the inspiration of if it feels good, I don't let it go. There's a reason why it is sticking around. So I'm always writing new music, almost too much new music. I need to, so I've been trying to go back and listen to the songs that I've written and, tweak those because if you wrote them a year ago and you still come back to them, you know that there's something there, right?
Mm.
And so I think that that's big. And in terms of my process from going just a songwriter to writing for myself, I think there's a lot of really figuring out exactly what I want to say and what I want to contribute to the world. I think that's a big thing. So you have to say something different, do something different. But it has to be familiar enough that people, like it, right? um, so yeah, I think that that's changed in my process. I also think I'm writing all the time now versus, before I would do a session, maybe a session a week, or a couple sessions a month. I've built up, my community here to have a lot of creatives around me where I could work all the time, by myself or, have a lot of different people there. So I feel like, yeah, the people that I've met and that I work with definitely inspire, and inform my sound, and where I'm going. I think that's a changing thing and that's cool. That's fun. Um, but yeah, I think I've surrendered a lot of the process because I've put in a lot of the time. I have learned how to do it. And now it's just what comes out, right?
Wow. And you said you were an engineer now, right?
Oof. I added that because I was laughing because now I have my studio. Everyone comes to my studio, which is great. I love it. I love being there. As a writer and an artist, usually you just go wherever the producer is. If
Mm.
you go to the producer's studio, the producer's house, or whatever, or the artist, will rent a studio and everyone goes. As a writer, it's kind of rare that you have that space because you're the tool in the room. You go wherever it's needed. But for me, I just kind of wanted like a gym. Like I wanted where I could go. I have, my space here. I'm very lucky to have my own place and be able to work on music when I want. But, I think having the separation, just like a gym, you
Mm.
go, you get dressed, you prepare, you prepare your workout, you walk in, you do your workout, you pay for it. So if you don't go, like that's on you, right? So I just kind of needed that environment. And when my studio space kind of popped up, I was like, let's just do it because I have to use the time, or it's money wasted. So I wonder what would happen if I did that. And because of that, everyone, always comes to my spot and it's opened me up to a lot of opportunities, which also has forced me to be a real engineer because somebody has to record. And I've always, I've been recording myself in my, home for 10 years now at this point, or more. But yeah, really, truly trying to sharpen that skill and making things that sound as good as possible because again, not people can't always hear or see the diamond in the rough. And so you have to make it sound as good as possible
Mm.
to convince them at any stage, even if it's day one. Um and so yeah, that's not something I ever thought I would become. Per se, I'm a big person on like why be the jack of all trades and master of none when like my gift is singing and writing and someone else's gift is engineering, someone else's gift is guitar, someone else's gift is, all the things that contribute to it. And so why would I try to do all that when that's someone's gift? But I think for me it was just kind of out of necessity, but it's been really fun. Um, and yeah, doing like the vocal production stuff for other people, that kind of comes with being an engineer as well. That's something I've always done, but as an engineer, it comes up even more. And I love it's so fun. But the whole, yeah, like patch bays and plugins and all this stuff, I've like really become kind of one of those people to really chop it up about, what do you have on that? What compressor are you using? What's this running through? Um, but I'm cool with staying at the level that I'm at. I'm not trying to like be the next big mixing engineer or recording engineer or anything. But I think that's the cool thing is like always being a student, always learning and being serving the song, whatever the song needs, whatever the room needs, whatever the artist needs. If the artist is me and I'm by myself, well, obviously I gotta record them. But then when I do my final vocals, I always, again, I tap those people who are really gifted in that space and let them do their thing. But yeah, it's been fun to do that, learn something new, and be able to provide that for the people that I'm working with.
Damn, you are killing it.
Just, literally just trying to make it happen. So by whatever means necessary, that's what we're doing.
I am so impressed.
Appreciate that.
You've grown so much.
That's right.
I am very proud of you. That's it.
Thank you.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah. It's important to like really remember how far we've all come. We're always so focused on the next thing and getting to the next thing that we forget how far that we've come. And I have so much I want to do and accomplish in life that I feel a real calling to. But even just being here with you, or being in LA or pursuing this creative career, like that's something that I've always dreamed about. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be in my life. And I have a lot of things on my list that I want to accomplish, but I'm on my way to doing those things. And if you talk to your younger self, if I were to have a conversation with her, like I would be the coolest person in the world to her, So I think it's important to remember those things and keep that close as you keep, striving for the next thing.
Totally. You have to stay grounded.
That's big for me. That's huge.
Mm.
That's
So
huge.
where does your love for R&B come from?
It's so funny. I kind of was late to the R&B train. I mean, I grew up, like I said, with a lot of musical influences. My uncle lived with us for a period of my life, and he was a big R&B fan, like Mary J. Blige, drove a Cadillac, like, drive me to school, pick me up, whatever. And we would always just be listening to that kind of music. He's the one that put me onto Adele when Adele first came out. Like, he's such a curator of music, and he was managing bands and things like that. So I just kind of grew up around that, and he's been such an influence in that way. So I kind of had grown up on it, but to that, it was old music to me because he was my uncle, right? He was an older guy. So I just thought that was like older music. Um, but to be honest with you, when I loved, like growing up, I loved the likes of like Tori Kelly. When I heard her voice, I never heard, she's on another planet. Um, and a lot of like the Sarah Bareilles of the world and things like that. Even Ariana Grande, she's my North Star. Those are people that have a lot of R&B influence, but I couldn't really put my finger on that at the time. But yeah, to be honest, when the Her project came out, when I used to
Mm.
know her, um, when I saw that performance on the Grammys, like I literally remember exactly where I was watching it, and in that moment, it just like I felt like a new section of my brain opened up. Like the curtain came out, like new level was unlocked. It just blew my mind. And I was with friends and I was like, what? Who is this? What is this? And one of my friends was like, this is like what R&B is now. And I was like, no, like this is not Mary J. Like, what do you mean? And then it just inspired like this whole search for what that was and where that came from and who else was making the music and who worked with her on it and what else did they work on. And so for like a year, basically, I just marinated on the music. I went back. I lived in Nashville. They have the African American Music History Museum there, the African American Music Museum, which is so phenomenal. I've been many times. If anyone's in the area, you should definitely check it out. But there's this one installation that they have where basically it's all these screens, and you can select, your favorite artist of today. So let's say we pick Her, and you can see songs of her. You can listen to her, and then it kind of goes back to her influence, which Her always talks about Lauryn Hill being a huge influence of her. Again, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Untouchable album, and then you click on Lauryn Hill, and then it goes back to, Lauryn Hill's influence, and then back, and then back, and then back, all the way to like, Big Mama Thornton and Rosetta Thorpe and things like that. And so I literally just did that in real time. I dove into Lauryn Hill, and then I figured out, who the next. Um, and I didn't make music. I wasn't creating music at that time because I was just trying to learn and study and research and just listen. Um, so yeah, I mean, I wore out the Her album. I still do. I think she's like on my Mount Rushmore of artists for sure. But she just was doing something that no one was doing at the time, and that was kind of the whole like R&B is dead wave, and she, like the artists that kind of came out of that time, like they really created this new wave R&B, and that is what inspired literally everything for me. And so once I kind of got out of that stage where after literally probably about a year, I wasn't really working on music. I wasn't really writing music. I was just listening. I went to a new producer. He's the one that ended up doing my first couple of songs that I released. And I was just like, look, man, like I don't want to show you any demos of anything I've done before because I don't want to do that. I I have no references of like my own music, that I want to show you. I literally just want to show you these like 5 songs, which a lot of them were like, you know, Her, Snow Allegra, SZA, of course. I just wanted to show the Lauryn Hill, just wanted to show these songs, Mahalia, and let's just start from scratch. And I literally had never met him, had never worked with him, so he had no idea, you know, there's no reference to anything. But I think that was a beautiful time too, because then when the time actually came to work on it, it was amazing how much came out and how much came out in that style that genuinely was like inside of me that finally had the right avenue to be able to make it happen. And so when I trace back, like I say, the Tori Kellys and the Sarah Bareilles and all of that, it all makes sense. Even the Corinne Bailey Rays, it was like this jazzy pop that really is R&B, but I just kind of missed a whole decade of R&B. And then tapped back in, and it was just like it was nostalgic, but it was new. And I just, yeah, it's been this love affair with R&B ever since. I just, no matter what I do, it's funny, even as a writer, when people call me in to do K-pop or country or anything, I'll sing what I think is a K-pop, style, and they'll be like, "I love the R&B flair that you add to it." And it's like, "Nah, this is not R&B, this is K-pop." But it's like everything that I do is R&B. It's just that's the sound. That's just what's inside of me. And so taking that time to really study it and figure out how it comes out, how it manifests itself in instrumentation and writing style. I think that's what that era was like for me. But yeah, it's gonna be R&B through and through no matter what I do.
I love that. I love R&B, but I'm very old school because I'm a bit older than you.
Yeah, listen, old school R&B, that's everything right now. I mean, that 90s R&B, I mean, 90s everything, is having such a, rise in popularity right now. So I feel you. Trust me. I go back. I listen. I was just bumping the Crazy Sexy Cool TLC album last week. Like, we're in there.
Yeah.
We're in there.
I miss those days, but yeah, I do listen to a lot of old school R&B, like Brandy,
Oh my gosh.
Neo.
Yep.
Who else? Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, yeah, tracing it all back, because it's like and I think that's the cool part about music discovery today, right? Especially in the sampling like era that we're in, where like everything is using samples and interpolations. It opens up a new generation to that, right? So yeah, I knew who Mariah Carey was. Duh. I was an American child. I wasn't growing up under a rock. But I loved Ariana Grande. I'm obsessed with her, even still today. I think like her vocals, her styles, her writing, it's amazing. And then once you realize that Mariah is like her North Star, and you go back and you listen to Mariah, you see, like the influence and how it all, and then, how it all traces back. So that's one of my favorite things. I just love doing that. It's so cool. It really is.
I am so glad you did all the homework. You studied R&B like crazy. I love that.
Whew. Yeah. All the homework for real. Student of life, I say.
What have been some of the biggest struggles in your journey so far?
It's a loaded question. There's a lot of different types of struggles. Um, there's real struggles, which is just like, maybe not having like certain resources, like not having enough engineers or enough guitar players or enough producers that you're working with, or writers, or, whatever the case ends up being. There's those things, or real struggles like, I posted a video after my, first single back called Baby I came out. That one I had so many challenges with. Just had to kind of redo every process. I had to re-record it. I had to remix it. I had to remaster it. So there's like those literal struggles that it's like, dang, I can't quite get this right or whatever. But I think so much of it is mental, so much of it it's mind over matter. But I think it's the persistence that it takes to show up every day, year after year, month after month, no after no after no after no after no, just doing it, showing up, still trying. Um, Not that that's necessarily a challenge, but I mean, you have to be a certain type of person, you have to have a certain mindset. So I think building that mindset has been was a challenge. I feel like I'm reaching a point where I'm doing good at that. But I think, yeah, just really the perseverance and the persistence is a challenge. It's difficult again to go at it and not have a break. Figuring out how to take breaks, that's been a challenge for me. But yeah, just the nonstop of it all is can be a real challenge. And I think too, like as an independent artist, finding the right team, finding the right people, coming up with all the resources to do it. A lot of people, have a lot to say about that. Every artist wants to talk about, oh, I don't have a label, and so I can't do this. And everybody who's having success, they, had $250,000 of, radio play or influencer placement or whatever. And I think that's a valid perspective. But what are you gonna do? You know? Like
Mm.
complaining about it and being bitter about it is valid because it's real. But then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna quit or are you gonna figure out how to make it work? And for me, um, the latter. We're gonna do everything we can to make it work. That's all. That's what I was put on earth to do. I have to do it. So, we have different pendulum swings of like, this is hard, but let's keep going and pushing it through. And this is really hard and I need a break. Like I can't do it right now. Um, so I think, yeah, just that. But the challenges of every release of just being the everything, of being the writer, the performer, the engineer, the creative. I comp all of my own vocals, so editing all the vocals, being a part of the mixing process, being a part of the mastering process, being the HR that employs all these people and gets them all their files and finds it. Um, Cover art, rollout, videos, creative direction. I became a web designer when for this release, I wanted to do like a direct sales option because I knew there were a lot of people who really wanted to support me but didn't know how. And so I had to build out my website and build out a store. Um, again, you same with the engineering thing. You just kind of fill in the gaps of what needs to get done, and it can be a lot at times. It can be really stressful, and a lot of people feel the weight of like having to be all that. But for me, the goal is so clear that whatever I have to do to get that, whether I have to like become a web designer or become an engineer or, you know, have the 15th call about which mixer, I'm going to go with, like I do it because it has to get done. And I care about the outcome more than I, care about all the things that could go wrong. Um, so yeah, I think there's a lot of challenges that a lot of people don't know, that go into being an independent artist, especially in today's world where we're all kind of competing on the same platforms. Like even major, artists on major labels, we're all competing for virality and for that moment. And I agree that there is room for everybody. Like I do not subscribe to the narrative that it's you or me or that it's, everybody's in competition per se. I think there is enough room. But at the end of the day, we are all competing on the phones to try to be that thing. And I think that is a challenge, trying to rise above, trying to cut through. I feel like is my challenge at face right now. Is I feel really proud of the work that I'm doing. I've been very lucky and blessed to get great responses on it from people that I care about, people whose opinions that I really value, saying that it's quality and that it's good. When I feel that way is also a good thing. But yeah, just trying to get like the word out and cut through all the noise um of everybody else and everything else and all the other things that are taking people's attention and time. That's kind of like a current challenge that I'm facing. But I think all of that comes in due time. So I don't have all the answers, that's for sure. But I try not to let the little things like trip me up or stall me out. I just try to If I need to take a break, take a couple days like to think about it or away from whatever it is, I'd rather do that. Um, and then just do whatever I can to keep moving, keep the momentum has been a big thing in this era for me.
Damn, that is truly inspiring.
Appreciate it. It's what I'm here to do.
Yep. Keep going, girl. I believe in
Thank
you.
you.
Always.
It really is like I got an opportunity to like meet and spend time with an artist that I love that really has had a lot of critical acclaim lately. I got to meet her over the summer, and I was talking with her about her career and how she's waited her turn because she's been around for a very, very long time as a songwriter, making things happen for other artists, and now she's having success in her own artist career. And I asked her, like, how do you wait? Like, how do you wait your turn? Like, what was that like? How did you keep trying after so many people, told you to just be a writer or that it wasn't going to work? And she was like, I knew it was a game of the last man standing. Like at the end of the day, you look around in a room and everybody gets, it's like you're a kid on a dodgeball, getting picked for dodgeball in gym. It's like everybody's got to get picked. Either the kids go home and they cry, they leave, they go to the nurse. But everyone that's in line, that's like waiting to be picked, at the end of the day, everybody else is on a team, right? And there's still like you get picked for a team, you get put on a team because you're there. So I think for me, just trying to have that mindset, which again goes into the longevity, which goes into the rest and fighting burnout. Because if it's last man standing, you bet that it's gonna be me, because if you take the time, it has to happen. It has to. You don't have feelings and callings and purpose in life and it not happen for you. I do not believe that. So it's just about the timing, and that's a challenge. Waiting on it is a challenge. But if it's a game of the last man standing, which is true, if that is the case, then I'll wait it out. I'll be on the sidelines in my jersey, like, wearing my uniform, waiting for the coach to call me in.
Wow. That is so true.
It's hard. It's a hard truth.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to wait.
It is hard.
But yeah. But it's always worth it. I mean, I have to believe that it's worth it.
And I mean, you are good. And you are very good. And you deliver really good songs. So it's not shitty. So it's going to work out. Yeah. And it's working.
Well, yeah, I'd hope so. That's the thing is, finding out all the and being realistic, being realistic with yourself. But I think once you get the fundamental things down, at the end of the day, it's all just chance and opportunity and luck, timing.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yep. So how do you know when it's time for you to take breaks? How do you take care of your mental health?
Yeah. For me, I try to schedule things like somewhat regularly. Like I just try to, every couple months have something, whether it be, a couple days or a week or 2 weeks, whatever. Or even if it's just like leaving LA and going back, home to see my family or going to see friends. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a solace, solo, silent retreat, relaxing. But I try to just schedule those regularly because I really need something to look forward to. I'm someone who I really give 110%, in this, and I sprint, but I'm able to sprint because I know that there's a rest coming, and I feel like that works best for me. Because even if I feel like I'm getting tired and my energy is depleting, I feel like I'm burning out, I know that there's a rest period coming. And so I'm able to push through it. And so I think I'm still finding the balance of that and finding that process. But I feel like that's the most important thing for me is knowing that I'll have a period of rest. But when I don't have those delegated, knowing when I need to take a break, it's just when the results aren't coming, like if I'm sitting down and I'm writing a song and it's just like, oh, I'm so stuck and this is just, I just don't like it. Like learning to let go. I think the discipline versus rest has been a challenge my entire life, of having a discipline to push through, but then also being able to be like, you know what, let's just take a break. So I'm still trying to find that out. But again, we have to live our lives to be able to be creative. I have to live life and go places and experience things and have conversations to be able to have something to say. And I think I'm learning that rest is in a really important, a key element, part of the creative process, not only because your body needs rest, but because you need to gather inspiration, you know?
Yep.
So it's still something I'm figuring out. When you figure it out, please let me know. I'm down for all the tips and tricks. But yeah, for me, I think it's periods of really hard work and periods of rest.
Yeah. I'm trying to do both. I think I found the right balance.
Yeah. Care to share?
Nope. It's a secret.
Right. Yeah. He's like, that's the premium version. You gotta pay you gotta pay that.
You know what? I just wake up and I just have my routine every day.
Yeah. I think that's important too, the routine.
Yeah. You need to have that discipline and routine every day. And you need like 5 or 10 minutes, for example, just to do your meditation or
Yes.
something else. And then you go do your work. And then after that, you take a little break, like 5 more minutes to breathe or, I don't know, eat.
Yeah.
Go outside for a bit.
Drink water.
Yeah. Because when you work too much, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. And then the process isn't fun, you know?
Yeah.
And then like especially when you're chasing this creative energy, right? When you're immersed in it. If you feel like you're stalled and you're really trying to push through the wall, who is it serving? You know, like I think discipline, it serves you in the long run. But again, like in the creative process, just banging your head against the wall doesn't get you anywhere. Just take a break, go outside, be done with it, go to sleep, come back the next day. You know, like
Exactly.
I don't know.
I hope you sleep, though.
Yeah, yes. No, trust. I be getting my sleep. That's one thing I really cannot sacrifice. And that's the thing that's like, um, especially in music, you know, I feel like I'm also kind of a night owl in terms of like a lot of my creative energy comes at night, like after 8 o'clock. But I also am like a good sleeper. So I have like sometimes I have a short window to really like do it, capitalize on it. But especially with, writing with other people or being in sessions, we'll be in the studio till 1, 2 a.m. sometimes. But those nights are always like, they're always good. I don't know. There's something about it. I have the energy to keep going. And then, then come home and go to sleep and wake up and do it again. But sleep is crucial. Everybody,
Yep. Sleep is
needs that.
everything.
Yeah.
I took a nap today and I'm still tired.
Yeah, I hope I can. I hope I can.
I have one last question for you. What do you hope listeners feel when they hear your music?
I think about this a lot because, again, I care about what I'm saying. If I'm saying what everyone else is saying, there's no point saying it. Why would people listen to me? I really want people to identify with me and my sound and the words that are coming through. I want people to find pieces of themselves in it, whether it be sonically, if it's nostalgic, or if they find that their ear is leaning toward a certain instrument or certain sound, or if it's lyrics, if it's literally they've experienced something similar, or what I say sparks some kind of emotion in their own life, of their own experience. I want people to feel like they know me, and that this is what they're listening to really is just an extension of themselves. It's putting into words maybe what they weren't able to. I think that's something that I've felt in music with some of my favorite artists, is just how in the world did you know? How did you put the words to that feeling? That's something I always aspire to do. But I think overall in my career, I really just want people to see that you can do things differently, that it doesn't have to look like everybody else, that everyone's on their own path, that your journey is your journey. And so I'm wearing my hoodie here. I wear hoodies and jackets are like my thing, always wearing a hoodie. There is no persona with me. There's, and I respect the girlies who can do it, the makeup and the hair and the outfits and, having this other persona, this other character. I think that's so cool. That's not me. And so all the things that people tell you that you have to be, that you have to look a certain way or be a certain age or make a certain type of music or say a certain type of thing or work with these people, I don't subscribe to that. I don't feel like you have to look away or sound away or say something to make it happen. I don't believe that. And I really, like, my journey, I feel like, is to show people that it can be done differently, that you can be kind to people, that you can treat people well, that you can overpay the people that you work with, that you can be a resource to other people, that you can make really great art, that you can, whatever it is, honor your calling or say something in a different way, like, that you can do all of that exactly how you want to do it, that it doesn't have to, look how people say it has to. So that's the thing for me, and like all my visuals and my, creative identity, my brand, it's all just me, and what I like. And I think that that's the biggest thing, because if you're rocking with that, then great. But if not, like, nothing's going to change for me. I'm still going to be me, still going to dress like this, and talk like this, and make music like this. But I really just want people to be able to identify themselves and to be inspired, to be on their own path and follow their own journey. Because there's only one you, there's only one me, and we were created to serve our unique purpose. And so why try to be everybody else, sound like everybody else, act like everyone else when the world needed you? So that's my hope for my listeners, and the people just in my community.
Damn, I don't know what to say now. You are you, and we love you for it. Thank you.
Yes. Likewise. Yeah, thank you for having me and for your platform and all that you do for artists, independent, not these types of spaces are really, really important for artists, but also for music fans, for sure. And you have such a good ear, and you just have such a good heart. You're one of those people that we're talking about. So thank you. And I hope that you feel rewarded. I hope that you feel that you get the love that you put out.
Thank you. I feel it, especially when I'm talking to people like you on this podcast.
Great. I'm glad.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. A big thank you to Shelby Scott for sharing her journey so openly. It was such an inspiring conversation, and I'm really grateful for her time and honesty. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it, leave a review, or send it to someone who might need a little inspiration right now. If you're an artist looking for support or guidance, I offer services to help you grow your music journey. You can learn more on my website, bettermusicofficial.com, and connect with me on social media at bettermusicofficial. See you in 2 weeks, and as always, take care of your mind.